see. Okay, so yeah, David, I really like discussions. I think that is really, really cool. And I like that because in Google Classroom, you could ask a question, but there are more features in Canvas to kind of make discussions work the way you want them to. Icons on the home page. Laura, yeah, a lot of people have been creating like some buttons. Grading, I love the speed grader. That was exciting for me. And a lot of you are talking about embedding things. So that's one thing that I do really like about Canvas, that in Classroom, you were more just gathering links onto something, but nothing was really embedded. Students always had to click out to view it. And in Canvas, you can put everything on the page that they can view right there, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely very organized, Pam. Grading. All right, very cool. So if you have any questions about any of those things or anything else, like I said, keep throwing it in the chat, keep emailing your ITF. We're happy to help you as much as we can. So let's get into this. We are going to kind of follow the pace of the online module. So if you took the online module, I'm going to go over here. Then it started out with kind of behind the scenes, and then you moved into course preparation, and then student learning. So that's kind of how we're going to break up today into those 3 segments. So we are going to start out with behind the scenes. So this presentation is really, it's more to guide me so I don't forget anything, and to also kind of refer you to the very, very, very important things. Everything in that module is important. Please, 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 if you would share with your coworkers about this module. We're getting a lot of questions that are answered in the module, and a lot of teachers not realizing some of the things that need to be done, which is totally understandable because it's the first time a lot of you have ever touched Canvas. But we're trying our best to kind of get word out about some of these things. So please share this information with teachers on your hall, on your team, that sort of thing, so that everything kind of goes smoothly on Monday. So let's review notifications really quickly. So I'm going to go over into my sandbox course here. So this is kind of my pretend course that I use. And one thing that you want to be sure that you have set before the first day of school are your course and Canvas notifications. So to do that, just as a refresher, over on the left-hand side, the Canvas teal menu that is always there, you're going to click Account and go into Settings. Oop, I lied, Notifications. So Account, Notifications. And again, the key up here, the icons are going to tell you how often you get notifications for things. And there are, if you hover over it, it's going to explain to you what the activity is and what it means. So if you, for a due date, that means anytime an assignment due date changes, when or do you want an email? And you can choose based on the icons over here. So in our course beginning of the year module, this page is going to give you suggested settings. These 5 settings are the ones that we would really, really encourage you to set with these particular times of notifications. And that is because it has to do with submissions and grading and discussions. You certainly are not required to do these. These are just the settings we recommend based on kind of how quickly you need to be notified of different things that students are interacting with. And then if you go down on this page in the module, then it will show you how to set all of those. So you'll just kind of scroll through and you'll just click the little icon to indicate how often you want a notification. Notification meaning email. So this is when you will get emails in your Gaston County Schools inbox based on Canvas activities. All right, course dates. So this is another big one. So I am going to use my Canvas menu over here on the left. I'm going to click courses so I can jump right into the course that I know I need to go into. I'm just going to skip my dashboard. So the course start dates you can find down here under the course settings. So this is my blue course navigation. And I'm going to go to course details. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit to start and end date. So these, the start and end date should automatically be populated from PowerSchool. But if you think about it, originally we were starting school on August 24th, and that has been bumped up a week. So there is a chance that the wrong date could have accidentally been clicked in PowerSchool. So you just want to make sure that August 17th is your course start date, because students will not see the course appear on their dashboard until that course start date. So you want to make sure that they will be able to see it on Monday. You can even set a specific time. I don't know where 6:03 came from, but honestly, that time works. So as long as it's by 8 a.m. If that course start date is not August 17th, then you can talk to your school data manager, and they will simply just have to go into that course and change the start date to the 17th. The end date should be December 21st. You also probably want to, honestly, I would check all three of these boxes where students can only participate. That means like view and do activities between those dates. And I would also restrict students from viewing the course before it starts and after it ends, so that they can truly only see the course from August 17th to December 21st. Of course, you're the teacher. You can change that. I will say I've had some teachers say that they want students to be able to see the course before the start date. And I understand that, but keep in mind that students have never used Canvas. So if somehow they get into Canvas and they see that course and they click into it, they are probably going to have questions. What do I do? How do I get started? Do I need to complete this assignment before Monday? You're going to get a lot of emails. I would just restrict the course so that students do not see it before August 17th. And then on Monday, you can contact students and let them know what they need to do in the course. If you're okay getting all the emails before Monday, then knock yourself out. You can uncheck that box. All right, the GCS Commons. So this is another kind of behind the scenes thing that I think is going to be really valuable for all of you. This is where it is kind of like a resource library for Canvas material. So to get to it, you will come over here to the Canvas teal navigation menu, scroll down. There used to be an icon here. Honestly, I don't know why it's not there, but you'll look for the word Commons, and you're going to click that. So this is going to bring you to the Canvas Global Commons. So this is everything that any Canvas user anywhere in the world has shared their resources. That's fine and dandy, but you probably don't want to just go perusing through this and adding a bunch of stuff to your courses, because it's not going to be aligned with our standards, our curriculum, our pacing guides. You can certainly find things and like pick and choose, but I would encourage you to come over here to filter and scroll down to the bottom. And instead of finding resources that are shared with everyone, I would choose resources that have been shared with Gaston County schools. And what you're going to see is you're going to see any items, whole courses, modules. I'm going to scroll down because I think, so here's more modules. You'll see individual discussions. You will see individual pages shared with Gaston County Schools teachers. So Gaston County Schools teachers are the only ones who can access all of this information here. If you find one that you want, so for example, you should have all at this point gotten an email from either Kathleen Davria, Amy Parker, or your principal about the student learning module. This is where you will go to pull in the student learning module to your own course, so you don't have to teach students how to use Canvas. We have done that for you. So we have created a module that will instruct students how to use Canvas and how to navigate. It also includes some practice assignments and discussions and activities so they can kind of practice with those things. So when you find something that you want, you will click on that item. You're going to get a preview here. So it's going to tell you what is in that module. I will say the student learning module, it is a little lengthy. We boiled it down to like the need to knows for students, but these are all things that they need to know. So like they are going to have to set their course notifications. We tell them how to do that, and we tell them what notifications they should set. We tell them how to connect their Google account, which is really important if you want them to submit Google assignments to you. They also do some practice assignments and discussions here that you can choose. Once you import into your own course, it is your module, meaning you can change some of that to fit your students, your content, and it will not affect the module in the Commons. So for example, the practice discussion, it's just kind of a fun question. It talks about what 3 items would they bring if they were on a deserted island. You can change that and you can ask them something a little more content specific if you wanted, or you could just kind of keep it lighthearted and fun. So you have the ability to edit things that you get from the Commons after you pull it into your own course. To pull it into your course, you'll click the blue import download button over here, and it's going to pop up this window on the right-hand side, and it's going to give you a list of all of your courses. So you can actually choose, let's see, I'm going to pull it into this course. I'm going to pull it into this course, and so you can choose multiple courses at a time. Please, please, please click import into course. Do not click download. The reason is download is going to download the file. You're going to have to go into each course individually. You're going to have to go to a specific area. You're going to have to upload from your computer. The process is just multi-step. If you click import into the course, it is just going to immediately bring this whole module into your course and you're done. And from there, you would just drag the module up to the top. Much, much easier.
Catherine, there's a couple questions.
Yeah.
First question is the module ready for import? So
yes.
And the next question is, do they add it into each of their courses? That's a school-specific decision, is it not?
It is. You should talk to your. So honestly, I would say maybe don't ask your administrator today because I think they are trying to get you information as quickly as they can. I would go ahead and bring it into your course. You can bring it into all your courses if you want. Your administrator should let you know before Monday how you should distribute this in terms of which course you should put it in. Most schools are probably going to do it based on like first period. So if you're a first period teacher, your students go through this course because they don't have to do it 4 times. But instead of bombarding your administrators today, like right now, sending an email, like, when are we going to do this? I promise you they are working as hard as you are and as hard as we are to try and get information to you as quickly as they can. Give them until Friday. It's not going to hurt you to pull this into all of your courses and just not publish it because you can easily publish it like Friday afternoon. I know that's last minute. I know that is stressful for some of you. I would just hate for your principals to get like 10 emails from those of you in this course asking the same question. Because I feel certain that they are planning to explain to you how they want you to go about the student learning module. So I know that's not like an answer, but
Laura's bringing up a very good point. It was you can absolutely personalize these, and you should personalize it.
Please.
Imagine being one of these students. Guys, put yourself in the students' perspectives, right? I mean, imagine having to do 4 of these exact same courses in the first thing you do when you go into Canvas for the 2020 school year is you do 4 of the exact same assignments. I would revolt if I were a student.
Well, and that's probably not going to happen. So
agreed. I agreed, but I'm just saying, like, let's just think about that. But being able to personalize it would be a good idea.
Yes.
But that's going to be a school-based decision on when they, this actual module should be released to the students or share with the students.
Yes.
Sorry, Catherine.
Nope, you're good. You're good. Thank you. Yeah, please, please, please personalize it if you want. We we created it so that you did not have to, because we know there's a lot on your plates. So we did it so that you literally could pull it in and go. But if you want to personalize it, you absolutely can. I would not really mess around too much with the items at the beginning of the course, because those are kind of more like button pushing settings. So unless you are really, really confident in like course navigation, I wouldn't edit those pages, but you can certainly edit the practice discussion, practice assignments, practice quiz. You can add to the digital citizenship, but the digital citizenship is it is a like a it's not even a state requirement, like a national, like we have to do it for certain funding. So please don't delete anything with the digital citizenship, but if you feel like your students should do more with something, you can certainly add activities to it. But they need to go through those 4 activities and videos here. Jason, are there any more questions on either the student learning module or the Commons?
It doesn't look like it. Someone is saying that the digital citizenship lessons are particularly awesome, though. So,
are they really saying that? Jason did those, so I'm wondering if he's like patting himself on the back right now. The silence. We did update those. So Jason updated those. So they are different than last year if you want to review them so that you know, like if students ask you questions. All right, copying and sending. So not only can you send things to the GCS Commons, and before I move away from the GCS Commons, I do want to say, be careful importing courses onto a course where you've already begun working. Because if you import a course into a course, Canvas sees it as, hey, this person wants to take that course in the Commons and replace their current course. So if you want like this, like civics and economics template and playlist, it is a course. You should import that into a sandbox course, a course that does not have any work that you have done. Otherwise, there is the potential that this course will overtake what you've already done, and you could potentially lose some of your work. So I don't say that necessarily to scare you, but I say it because I would hate for you to unknowingly import a course from the Commons and lose work that you've put into something. So again, I would create manually with the Start a Course button, create a course that's called like blank civics and economics, import this course into that manually created one, and then you're going to follow what I'm getting ready to show you, the copying and sending. So in my courses, I'm going to go back to my sandbox. I can copy and I can send things to other courses and to other people. So let's say that I have this page, this intro to the module, and I've gotten together with my PLC and we kind of divided and conquered. You create this, you create that. I teach the same class 3 times. I don't want to create the page 3 times. I also want to be able to share the page with my other PLC teammates. I can do that by going to the item I want to copy to another course or send, and I can click into it. Before I go into edit mode, I'm going to use the 3 dots beside it. If I click send to, this is going to allow me to send this page to another Canvas teacher. So I could start typing Heather's name, and I could type another name if I want, and I could send it. It is not going to automatically put it into any of Heather's courses. Heather's the teacher. Heather gets to decide if she wants to bring this into her course or not. And if she does bring it into her course, she can edit it. You're basically sending a copy of your page. So I can keep editing this for me. And after I send it to Heather, I can edit it some more, and it's not going to affect Heather's copy. Heather can edit her own copy. It's not going to affect mine. So you would just click send. I'm not going to do that because I don't want Heather to end up having this random page. Where that will show up is over here under your Canvas account, shared content. From shared content, you'll be able to choose which items shared with you you want to pull into a course and which course you want to pull it into. Under the three-dot menu, you can also click copy to, and this is where you can copy it to one of your other courses, so you don't have to recreate everything in all of your courses. You would just select, let's see, Chris has a sandbox course that I think oh goodness. For sandbox. So I could copy this page to another course that I'm an instructor in. So I could copy it to Chris's sandbox course. I could just copy it straight to the course and it's going to show up at the very, very bottom. Or I could even say, okay, not only do I want to send this page to that course, I wanted to go ahead and throw it into the Beowulf unit. And you know what? I want to actually put it at the top of that unit. I want it to be the first page. So you can send it directly to the exact location in a course that you want it to be, which is just going to save you some time. And then you just click copy. Again, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to click copy because I don't want Chris to wonder where this ancient Egypt thing showed up in his Beowulf unit. All right. So we talked about the GCCS Commons. We talked about kind of the behind the scenes things. Any questions before we move on to that second segment of the beginning your year module? Yeah, Laura, I do think you get an email, but I would always go to account shared content over here. That's where it 100% goes. Okay, so let's look at course prep. So this is course specific to kind of make sure that your course is outlined the way you want it to be. So let's look at your navigation. So your navigation over here, if you took part in the settings and modules virtual PD, we talked in depth about this. So I'm going to kind of boil it down. And anything with the crossed out eyeball, students will not see in their course navigation. As a teacher, you will always see everything. To edit that, you're going to come into, so I am in a course. You're going to have to do this for each of your courses. You're going to come into a course and click settings and go to navigation. And from here, you're going to drag and drop items that you don't want students to see at the bottom. We would really, really encourage you to only allow modules, announcements, and grades. The reason being, less is more. The less students have to click over here, the smaller the chance that they get lost in Canvas. So keep in mind, they have probably never used Canvas either. And yes, they're very tech savvy on some things, but on some things they are not. And Canvas is probably going to be one of those. So less is more. The other reason is you can access quizzes, assignments, discussions, pages, all of that you can access from the modules page, and it will be organized the way you want it to be. So once you set your course navigation, make sure at the bottom you click save so those changes take effect. Gradebook. Okay, so this year, I'm going to go back home to my course here. This year, the district decided not to do grade passback, meaning the grades in Canvas will not automatically be sent to PowerSchool. The reason is there's a lot of nuances between the two platforms, and if they are not identically set up the correct way in both, it can cause syncing issues, and it can cause grades to not be accurate in PowerSchool, which you do not want, because then you're going to get parents and students wondering why grades are one thing in PowerSchool and one thing in Canvas. So for this year, you already have a lot on your plate. You already have a lot you're trying to learn. So the district decided that for this year, the important thing was to get content into Canvas and be comfortable with it, and that we would revisit the grading sync pushing to PowerSchool next year. I know that may be frustrating for some of you, but it is probably going to save some headache down the road when things just don't work exactly the way they should. However, you can still grade things in Canvas. You'll just have to input them into PowerSchool just like you have in the past. I would still keep a paper gradebook. Technology does break. I love it, but it breaks, and usually it breaks when you absolutely don't want it to. So I would still keep a paper gradebook. What you can do, though, is you can keep giving grades on assignments. If you want to know how to do that, then I'm going to refer you to the Gas and Digital website, the Canvas page. There's a video on our assignments session where you can see how to set those settings. And we also have a module that we're going to push out to the intro course that is all about grading, using SpeedGrader, giving feedback, that sort of thing. So look for that in a couple of weeks. I will say, though, one thing that we would highly encourage you to do is to go into settings of your course, go to course details, scroll to the very, very bottom, click more options, and check these two boxes: hide totals and student grade summary, and hide grade distribution graphs from students. The reason is if you grade things in Canvas, Canvas by default will have a total class grade. Now, unless you set up weighted grouped assignments that match PowerSchool, and unless every single assignment you grade in class or in Canvas you put into Canvas, that grade total in Canvas is not going to match the grade total in PowerSchool. So again, you're going to get questions from students and parents. Why do these grades not match? PowerSchool is your official grade. It always has been. It always will be. PowerSchool is the official class grade. So by hiding the totals in the student grade summary, students will still see the grades for every individual activity you give, but it's not going to tell them your grade for this class is a 94. And then they go into PowerSchool and their grade's a 91, and they're wondering, why is it different? Because there might be things that you do on Monday with your A students that you do in class and you grade, and you don't put the grade in Canvas. Questions about that? Because that's kind of an important one. Okay, so
can you show them? Hey,
yeah,
Catherine, can you show them where you found that again?
Yeah. So settings of the course. Settings of the course. Course details. Scroll down to the very, very bottom, and there's a little blue text that says more options that you're going to click to expand a bunch of checkboxes. And you're looking for the one that says hide totals and student grades summary. Be sure you click update course details, or that change won't take effect. Homepage. Okay. And let me check my time. Okay. So I'm going to click home in the course. So a lot of teachers have been wondering, how can they set their course homepage? So they want to create a page, and they want, instead of when students click from the dashboard into the course, or when students click home here, instead of it being the modules, they want it to be a page that says like welcome and maybe has an image. A lot of teachers are loving this Bitmoji classroom, and they want that on the homepage. This part is personal preference. You can certainly keep the modules here as the homepage. There are arguments for that it immediately brings students straight to the content and the instruction. So you can certainly do that. If you want the homepage to So let me show you an example. So in the Gaston County Schools Intro to Canvas, we've set a homepage that has like this, this blurb here and the video. So if you want to set a page of content as your homepage, what you're going to do is it is a two-step process. So as the teacher, you're going to come over here in your course navigation to Pages, and you're going to click Pages. You are going to click View All Pages, or it's automatically going to bring you to this list. This is a list of every single page that's in my course. It's a little overwhelming. This is why I say in the navigation, you want to hide this link for students. Because if not, students will be able to get to this. And this is very confusing because who knows what any of this means, when I'm supposed to do it. So that's kind of an example of why I would hide it in navigation. So you're going to come to your page and you're going to find the page that you want to use as your homepage. So what I did is I created it and I called it homepage, use this one to make it very obvious to myself. You need to set this page as your front page. So that's step one of setting your homepage, is setting it as your front page. So to do that, you're going to find the page you want to use as your homepage. You're going to come over here to the three-dot menu. And you're going to choose, so I already set it as my front page, so I don't have that option. I just have remove. But if I remove that, you're going to choose use as front page. So again, three-dot menu, use as front page. And you're going to see that your page here is just going to get a little tag that says front page. That's the end of that step. You're going to scroll back up to the top and you're going to go home. Now, my home page is still not set. Remember, a two-step process. So I needed to set it as a front page first. Then what I can do is on my home page here, I can come over to choose home page on the right-hand side, that button, and I can choose what I want to set as my home page. And one of the options is your front page. So I can choose that. And when I click save, my course will automatically update. And now anytime I click home here, it's going to use that page that I set. So it has my Bitmoji Classroom. Maybe it has like a button. If you want to know more about how to set up your homepage, email your ITF. Middle school teachers, you were emailed a template that you could use. High school teachers, I think there actually is a homepage template in some of the Commons templates. But email your ITF. We can help you figure out how to kind of make this fancier if you want. Module settings and publish. Okay. Jason, before I go to module settings and publish, are there any questions I need to look at?
Nope, I think you're good.
Okay.
Guys, if you have specific questions, do not hesitate to email your ITF. They're going to be the one that's going to be able to help you with that specific question that you've got. A lot of this information is going to be in the online course.
Mm-hmm.
Did you show them, Catherine, where all this information, where you pulled all this information right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I pulled it up in the beginning, but I'll go back to it. This is the intro to Canvas online course. Modules, you got the modules up here that you already, it jumped me down. You got like the start here. These are all the modules that you went through to get that certificate. The two newest modules, I've just condensed them with the arrow just to make it easier on my end. The two newest modules are how to use Google and Canvas. And then this one that we really, really encourage you to go through is beginning your year. And it's going to step-by-step go through all of the things that we want you to be sure you do before Monday.
And that's where she pulled all this information from that she's sharing with you in person. But just like it's great for your students to be able to have content there in the course to go back and look at over and over and over again. This is going to be there for you all year, and you can go back and reference it.
Yep, especially January when second semester starts. I would go back to this course and kind of use it as a checklist. You also in your boxes hopefully got this infographic. If you don't have it in your boxes, it should be coming. This is your like weekly checklist that you can put up by your computer, things that you just need to make sure that you do each week before you publish a module. And then you also, let me get it, hopefully got this one. And that is your kind of beginning your semester course checklist. A lot of the stuff that we're covering in the module and right now is on that infographic. Again, it's just meant to be a quick little cheat sheet for you to make things a little easier. All right, so let's look at module settings. Module settings is the key to making students progress through your course in the order and sequence you want them to. So what you can do is you can set module prerequisites and you can set module requirements. Module prerequisites are you telling Canvas, in order for students to access this module, module 2, I want students to have completed module 1. So it's a way that you force students to work through your modules sequentially. It's also a way to force students to finish one module before they can move to the next. Requirements are you telling Canvas, in order to check off a module, what tasks need to be done in that module. So let's say, I'm going to scroll down here. So module 1, let's say I do not want students moving to this second module here, module 1, until they finish this one up here. So I'm going to go to the module title, the 3-dot menu, choose edit, and I'm going to add a prerequisite. Only a module can be a prerequisite. So I'm going to make sample module a prerequisite, meaning this module here, it won't be available for students to complete until they've completed this one before it. I can also lock this module. So not only do you have to complete the module before it, but even if you complete that module, you still can't see this one until Monday, until a certain date that I picked. Click Update Module to make those changes take effect. So I want students to complete the module before this one in order to access this one. So now I need to go to the previous module and I need to tell Canvas, what does it mean to complete this module? You're going to do that in the same location. You're going to come to the 3-dot menu. You're going to go to Edit, and you're going to add requirements. You have the option to have students complete all of these requirements. These requirements meaning the ones listed down here, not automatically all the ones that are in the module. So you're going to have to actually tell Canvas each item you are requiring students to do and what you're requiring them to do on that page. So for example, on this page, the intro to module unit, I want to require students to view the item. I just want them to be, they have to pull up the page and then they're free to go. They can move on. Or I can actually set it as, they don't just have to view the page, they have to click, they actually have to click a button that says mark done. So they have to kind of click verify I saw this page. So I can click and I can add as many requirements as I want and what they have to do to kind of get the check mark on that page. I can also force students to move through the requirements in sequential order, which is probably what you want to do, especially with A-Day, B-Day, is you probably want them to be forced to go through it in a certain order. I can also add a requirement, let's see, for a discussion. Not only can I require them to view it not only can I require them to view it, but I could also require them, okay, not only do you have to view the discussion page, you actually have to contribute. You actually have to respond before you move on. If I add a requirement of an assignment, I can not only require them to view the item, mark it as done, I can also require them, okay, not only do you have to view the assignment, you have to actually submit something, and then you can move on. Or not only do you have to submit something, but you have to actually score at least 3 points out of 5 before you can move on. A lot of teachers have been asking, how do I lock a module from B students so that A students can see it on Monday, but B students can't see it until Thursday? There's no way to lock a module or assign a module for just specific students. It's all or nothing. It's everyone in your course sees it or no one in your course sees it. However, there is a hack. It's a little complicated. It is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to tell you how to do it. If you want to know how to do it, and me going through it right now is too fast because I do have to watch my time, email your ITF and we can help you set it up. You certainly don't have to do this. This is an option. Like I said, this is just a hack to prevent some students from moving on in your course while others can. So what you could do is if you—
Hold on a second, Catherine.
Yeah.
Guys, you're not going to find this anywhere else, okay? This is stop what you're doing, get your pen and pencil out. This is good stuff, but you're not going to find this randomly on the internet. This is where this information is going to be.
So let's say I want only A students to move on to my second week module on Monday. What you're going to want to do is in that module before it, the first week module, the very last task in that module needs to be an assignment. It can be an assignment like a reflection. And in all honesty, I would make that assignment some kind of reflection. Tell me your favorite part of this module or this week. What question do you still have? What could have made this module better? Get feedback. Make it valuable, but don't make it like intense work. Because what you're doing is you're basically just setting a benchmark. But it has to be an assignment. And for that first module, you are setting the requirement that in order for students to go on to the next module, they have to score at least 1 out of 2 points or 1 point. As the teacher, what you're going to do on Sunday night, Monday morning, whenever, you are going to go into that module and you are only going to grade A students. So students' last name A through L, I think is what it is, A through K. Because when you go in and you grade and you click 1, you give 1 point for all those A through L students, because of your module requirements, it is going to release them to move on to the next module. But because you have not scored B students, it is going to keep them locked on that module until you go in later in the week, score B students to release them to the next module. I know it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around. Like I said, email us. I hate to say it, but I can't spend any more time on that, only because there are other things we need to get to in this training. Email your ITF. We are going to make a video showing that process and kind of what it looks like. But in the meantime, we can help you we can go through that process again with you. All right. So let me go back here, publish. Okay. The absolute biggest thing is you have to publish in 3 places. Otherwise, your course will not be live. So yes, your start date might be Monday. But if you don't publish, then your students still won't see it. So you have 3 places you need to publish. You need to publish individual items to make it viewable. You need to publish the module in its entirety to make the module viewable. And you have to publish your course. Now, you only have to publish your course 1 time. Everything else you're going to have to publish along the way. But what's nice about that is you can work in the background. So like, I'm going to bounce over to another course. Don't let it confuse you. This is the intro course. If I scroll, you see we've got a lot of modules in here and things are not published. These are all modules that we plan to release later on. We've been working in the background to get all that up and running, but we're not ready for you all to see it. So until we go in and we click like one of these circles to publish it, and until we publish the whole module, you won't see it. So it allows you to work in the background, which is really nice. I'm going to come back to this course. What I like to do is I like to use these for individual items. I like to use it as my checklist. So as I complete a page, I put the finishing touches. It's all ready to go, nice and pretty. I click the green check mark. Students won't be able to see this page until I actually publish the entire module and make the module live. So I can go in and I can publish and I can kind of check it off as my to-do list and know that my students still won't be able to see it until I actually click to publish the entire module here. So I just click that and it turns it to a green check mark, and now it's published for students. Again, you still have to publish your course. To do that, you're going to need to come to your dashboard over here on the left-hand side. All of your unpublished courses are going to be, for a lot of you guys, they're going to be right here at the top because you haven't published any yet. Once you start publishing courses, your unpublished courses are going to be down here at the bottom. And to publish it, you just click the publish button. We cannot stress enough that that is extremely important. If you don't click publish on the course, your students will not see it, even if the start date in the course settings is August 17th. And students will not see content within the course unless you publish that specific content and the module it's in. All right. Okay, less is more with navigation. We looked at hiding the grade totals in the course settings. We looked at the hack for 8A, B-Day, publishing, using it as like a to-do list. I'm going to skip homepage quick links only for the sake of time. That was when we were looking at the homepage and I had that button there. That was some people are using an image and linking it to specific things in their Canvas course so that when students see the homepage, they click that button, that image, and it jumps them to like the current module. Okay. I don't even know how I'm going to get through all of this. Jason, do we have any questions or can I keep going?
There's questions, but I'm trying to answer them.
Okay, thank you. I'll go back and review. If we need to stay on later than this, we can. I want to make sure that we finish at 1:30 because I know some of you planned your schedule based on an end time of 1:30. All right, groups versus section. So in the Intro to Canvas online module, there is a page called Groups versus Sections. So I'm going to pull that up and reference that for right now. Keep in mind that right now, our students are 8A, B-Day. That could very well change. Who knows when? I don't know. But it could. Our students could all be virtual at some point. Our students could all be back in our rooms. At some point, that may change. So just keep that in mind when you're creating groups and sections, that right now, you may want to do things a specific way because you have 8A, B-Day. But also consider, if I do that down the road, is that still going to be okay? And for the most part, it will. So in Canvas, you can have groups and you can have sections. This page in the online module goes into detail about what those mean. But in a nutshell, sections are more like data official, like sections of students where you can assign assignments, discussions, quizzes to one section at a time, where only students in that section would see that assignment, discussion, or quiz. Or that section of students, 8A students, their assignment is due on Tuesday, and you assign it to this section to be due on Friday. Groups are a collaborative tool. So groups are basically, I'm putting these 5 students in their own little discussion. So they kind of discuss on a discussion board, just the 5 of them instead of the whole class. So groups are very informal. They're very casual. They are good for collaboration. They are not good for varied due dates and assignments. This page goes through how you'll create sections. I will say, Canvas does not make this part very user-friendly. To add students to a section, you have to go to the People tab, and you have to one by one add students to a particular section. I know that's not fun. That's just how it is. But this page will, it has screenshots. It'll tell you exactly how you're going to do that whole process. So again, sections are where you can assign something to one section, A day to be due on this date and B day to be due on this date. It can be the same assignment. You can just set different due dates. Some of you probably already have sections in your course, and it all depends on how PowerSchool is set up. So some of you are going to have one course, Math 1, and you're already going to have 2 sections, first period, second period. We would encourage you to kind of use this information on this page, talk to your ITF, because some of you are going to want sections and some of you aren't. And some of you are going to want to just do different things. So it really depends on how you envision your course working as to how many sections you need and what you want to name them. Crosslinking allows you to take a section from, so let's say you teach a combo class. You teach English 10 and English 10 honors, and they're together first period. This happens a lot in middle school, especially with AIG, because legally they have to be identified as like having their own like course, but you teach them in the same time frame. You can pull students, you can cross-link from one course into another and kind of bring them in. Again, there are directions on that in the beginning of the year module. Email your ITF, we can walk you through what that looks like, and we can brainstorm with you if that is something you want to do and why you may or may not want to do that. So we can kind of talk to you about that. Because a lot of this is a case-by-case basis, because it depends on how your school set up schedules, and it depends on how you run your class. Ooh, we talked about the student learning module. Yay. Okay, I have 3 minutes. Jason, any last questions before I show the sample module?
I think Pam said, I thought when I click publish, it was automatic on the Canvas site. I think there's a little bit of confusion over the publishing and the start date, but isn't it under each assignment there's a view date or viewable until, you know,
Viewable until?
No, on the assignment, you know, you maybe have a published assignment, but then yes, the view.
Yeah, so assignments you can publish, but let me go into an assignment here. I have one up here. So in an assignment, down here at the bottom, I can have a due date, and I can also have an available date. Available meaning when can students access and begin completing the assignment. So yes, I can publish this assignment. They will see it in there. They will not be able to click into it and begin working and submitting. So they won't be able to submit until this available date. You don't have to put an available date. That's just if you want, like if you want to publish the assignment, students can see, hey, this assignment's coming. This is what I'm going to have to do. But they won't actually get the submit button to turn something in until the available date. The due date is after the due date passes, due date and time, Canvas will mark the assignment late based on that due date. Does that answer the question? Hopefully. So the last thing, in the beginning of the year module, there are 2 quick start guides. One is how to make screencast videos. So if you want to do like a flipped lesson, if you want to do like your direct instruction, you have a presentation, you want to record your screen as you flip through your presentation, put that into Canvas so that students, when they're at home, are kind of, you're front loading the content to them so that when they come into your room, you're doing more hands-on things. This page will walk you through how to do that. The page after that, the quick start, the sample module, this is going to give a sample of what your week may look like. please know this is not at all us saying this is what you should do every day. This is like a brainstormed what might your week look like based on like a learning cycle. So students in group A, what are they doing each day of the week? Students in group B, what are they doing each week? This just kind of, our hope is that it'll help you start wrapping your brain around, okay, on A day, what am I doing? And on B day, what am I doing? So in Canvas, what that might look like is for B students, so students who they are online Monday through Wednesday, they are going to start learning and practicing content Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So in Canvas, you might see an introduction page. So you might see a page that has your I can statements, gives them a preview what they're going to be asked to do. Hey, coming soon next week. What are you going to have do? Something like that. And then you may work in some brain breaks. This is just kind of a sample. And then you're going to have maybe the Learn It. So you're going to have your screencast video, and they're going to have to watch it and maybe sketch note. So you're going to tell them, hey, before you keep going, make sure that you've sketch noted or you've taken notes, you've done an outline, Cornell notes, whatever. They move on, they're going to practice it. So maybe it's a short, like quick 5-question check for understanding quiz. So your B-Day students are learning it, practicing it, alternating. Learn it, practice it, different activities, graphic organizers, a discussion question. And then when they get to your room on Thursday, that's when you can do your hands-on, you can do your labs, you can do stations, you can do teacher conferencing, where you're looking at students' work that they did Monday through Wednesday, and you're able to individualize instruction and pull up, hey, you turned in, on your quiz, you missed these 2 questions. Let's look at these, review it, that sort of thing. So that might be how you want to kind of lay out your week. All right. It is, I think I'm over. I'm 2 minutes over. I apologize. Jason, will you throw the sign-in form into the chat if you haven't already? At this point, if you need to go, if you have somewhere you need to be, please make sure you sign in so you get credit for this. Once you fill out the form and sign in, then you are free to go. If you would like to share or kind of wrap up with us, then let us know in the chat. What are you still missing? What piece are you kind of wanting to know more about? What piece do you feel like you need? Either put that in the chat, or you can put it in the sign-in Google form. The last question says, what questions do you have? And we are trying our best to reply to those as quickly as we can to get you answers. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And if anybody has questions, I'm going to kind of scroll through this chat and answer any. Okay, it looks like, thank you, Jason, for putting the link in there 8 times. It looks like all the questions are answered, but if y'all have more, throw them in the chat, unmute. If you want them answered now, 6 times. Okay, I'm sorry, 6 times. I can answer them now. If you are okay waiting like 24 hours for an answer, you can put your question in the sign-in form, or you can email your ITF. Jill, this presentation is on the Gas and Digital website, but I am going to, I'll put the link in the chat too. You give me 1 second. Okay, Jill, the link is in the chat. That will take you to the presentation. You can either bookmark it or save it. Oh, the recorded session. I'm sorry. Did you ask when or where? Where can we visit this? It will be on the Gas and Digital website. What is today? Wednesday. Hopefully by Friday afternoon. We just have to have time for the video recording process, and then we have to upload it to YouTube. So just give us a couple of days. I am repeating this session again a couple of times. If you want to come to another one, you certainly can. We can't give you credit for coming to the same session multiple times, but I'm happy to have you.